It's still hard facts, and the very first one for the year 2025, as we try our best to set the agenda, not just for the leaders, we're also setting an agenda for ourselves, the followers, to make sure that the policies are shaped and formed in a way that it benefits us the most. Well, joining us is the executive director of the Extra Step Initiative, a favorite of the house. Of course, we love to have Eugene always here with us in the studio. Eugene Abels is joining us live via Zoom. Happy New Year. Where's my onunu and native soup? Because I know that that's what you enjoyed today. Oh, my goodness. We lost that connection with Eugene Abels. We're going to try to get him back. As usual, obviously, Mr. President has addressed the nation. He has made statements and made promises and set the agenda, or rather told us what to look out for this year. But how do we also make sure that they keep their promises? How do we also prepare ourselves to go toe to toe with our leaders to make sure that they are accountable to us? It's one thing to say we want our governments to do this. It's another for us to make sure that they do these things, especially when it comes to the level of accountability. Policies and all kinds of things are the things that actually form what become of our budgets, the duties of our governors, the National Assembly, our states, even the federal government. But how do we get to become part of those people who make sure that government, I don't want to use the word koto, but lives up to its responsibility? Eugene, it's so good to have you join us again. Let's start by, everybody's setting agenda for the government, or government is setting agenda. As they are setting the agenda, we're just onlookers. We're looking. We're hoping. I mean, that's the mantra for this administration. Hope. We're all hoping that 2025 will be good. In fact, all of us went to church. Those of us who go to church, we went to church yesterday. They declared the year of something, year of favor, year of exponential growth, and all kinds of things. What are we going to do in actuality to make sure that 2025 is not as bad as 2024? Because there are people who would also say, which one is our own? The reason why we have government is so that they can set agenda. What is our stake in making sure that the agenda setting comes from us?
Okay, number one, there are different levels of it. The message, I was in Salvation Ministries. The message was this year it should be self-development. So when opportunity comes, beyond the anointing, so that when even the anointing decides to work, that you have the capacity to deliver on what the anointing is assigned for, whether it be financial, whether it be marital. But there's a need for everybody to engage in a deliberate campaign of self-development and be conscious of your environment. So now, but like that, fundamental things now, number one, it is time we know how many we are in this country. Because if you don't know how many you are, you're lying. Your budget is a lie. Everything you're doing is a lie. Now, thank God it's been like what we've been saying for a long time, just been affirmed in the news highlights you raised, whereby like just 5 cities have the population center. So where do you have the 237 million people you're looking for? Just like you say you consume 40 million liters of fuel, petrol a month, and we ask you where are the vehicles? If we remove Kano, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Lagos, and if all these other cities put together, we make up the number of cars in Lagos. So where do you have those vehicles from? So then coming to the budgeting process, we're still budgeting from the colonial perspective. And the reason why we have 3 tiers of government is to enable us, to bring the people on board to become inclusive, to have an inclusive government. The colonial perspective was that the colonial people decided what they thought was best for us. But it's time, we've seen that it has not worked in over almost 60 years. So is it not time that we begin to go to the people, conduct proper researches to find out what the people actually need? The people in the Canal Farm, what they might require might just be water, but you think they need an express road. No. So we need to do a bottoms-up approach. The present style no longer has not delivered. So it is time for us to get out of the box and begin to do the unusual. The people who should have done this for us are members of the National Assembly. The legislature is the most important arm of government, because on one side, they make the policies, the laws. On the other side, they approve funds. On the other side, they ensure that these jobs are done. But when you elect a man or a woman to the assembly, whether it be at the local government level or state or federal, and you don't see his photograph, you don't allow him to debate, how do you know? When they put, you don't know his level of education. So they put legal matters before him. How does he understand it? They put figures for budgeting before him. How does he understand? He just agree to whatever they tell him. Then they write a prepared text for him. If you remember that, what happened in the Ninth Assembly, the Senate, where most of them, aides wrote those laws, they didn't read them, and most of them they returned because they knocked themselves out. Yeah, so we need to think out. The world is changing. There's a Donald Trump out there. The Francophone countries have not learned the lessons of what happened that led to coups in Nicaragua, Peru, and so on. They're coming back with those old ways that the West frowns at, and they're asking them to leave instead of collaborating with them. So there's a whole lot. And for you, Nigeria, the issue of clean energy, the issue of fossil fuel, the lot carbon credit and so on. What is our plan? This administration needs to come around and begin to do things differently. They have modeled through to this point. At 60-something years now, we're celebrating a refinery that was built how many years ago? That's, when people celebrate it, I just smile. But that's where we have found ourselves. Yeah, so are we on the right path? No. It's not about criticism. I'm just saying that our level of thinking, our application of knowledge, it's very, very, very limited considering what's happening in the world today. And we have a whole generation of kids who are making money, doing business, surviving on the cyber networks. So they're wearing their stockings and slip-ons and wearing big shorts, baggy pants, and they're indoors. They're talking to each other online. They're not interested in the rest of society. We're not engaging them. So there's a whole lot happening that the way we're going is not sufficient to carry them out. We're still talking about brick and mortar projects.
Thank you for bringing young people into the conversation, because late last year, when the presidency floated the idea of having a youth, what's that thing they're calling it?
Something like that for 27,000.
Yes, for 30 days, by the way. A lot of people didn't like the idea, and people screamed about it. But I guess that the presidency doesn't listen. People came out to the streets and screamed that hunger will kill us. So power. The presidency said they are trying to overthrow the president. And now they want to have a youth confab. Again, just as you said, the young people are not interested. So what is the essence of this youth confab? What will it achieve that every other thing that Nigerians have been saying is not going to achieve it? Because, or hasn't achieved, because Nigerians have been screaming, they've been shouting, young people have been doing all sorts of things to get the attention of the government. What will this youth confab do? And do we have the money to waste on a 30-day youth confab?
If the government seeks my opinion, I don't need 30 days to have a youth confab. The important thing is to get them to buy in. How do I get them to buy in? I get those who they listen to run the system for 1 week. Within 3 days, they will get it. They will to trend. Everybody comes in. The design of the place will be like a Google space. We'll run things simultaneously, and they'll get in. The conversations will be at their level. The way the communication will be on their terms as well. So I get those who they respect, and I can show you pointers. Even the one that kicked somebody like this morning, Burna Boy. My brother Burna Boy, Don Jazzy, Marianne, Ashake, the people they listen to. So those are it's not government people. If government gets involved, people will be hustling to get, because all of them want to sleep in the hotel and collect the extra code on it. Yeah, so but and they don't have to physically be in a particular space. For us to get them, 80% of them will be online. So who are the people you're putting before them to have that conversation? I don't need one, I need 3 days. Like the way we do hackathons, whereby we get them to compete and have those conversations. The way we do TEDx, the TED Talks and so on. We'll get them online, but it must be people who they respect, people who they communicate with, who they believe understand them. Those are the people. Then we will now sit by the sidelines to extract and distill those information. Once they've agreed on the agenda, on the timelines, government takes it and begins to say, okay, is this what you will discuss? Because we're all there listening, participating. We don't have to be in the hall with our mumu about them. We'll be in our houses or offices listening to them. When they're done, a communique and timelines are taken, and those things we begin to execute them. Because a lot of parents and a lot of likes of me don't know that most of them, the average young person is betting, boys and girls. They're betting, they're creating content online, they are investing in shares in the likes of Nvidia and the rest of them. They're doing bitcoins, and they're doing crime, and they're doing hacking. They're doing
drugs. They're doing drugs.
They're doing drugs, a lot of drugs online too. So it's a whole gamut of invisibles going on there. So we need to get into the space to begin to change the conversation that look at where you people are now, you need to begin to prepare to take over the nation. In the next 10 years, Tinubu can run for an election. So and it has to be a whole new set of people. Yes, like in Rivers State now that a younger person who is 49 is governor, all those who are 65, 70 will not contest. If you go to contest against him, anything where you see, you go take up.
I want to push you a bit. I know you're not government. You shouldn't be holding brief for them. You can't speak for them. But we're here to set an agenda. All the things that you've said, fine and dandy. But who's to say that is the idea that the government wants to run with? Because they've still not told us what this youth confab is supposed to achieve. And who's to say that even if they were to kowtow to what our demands are, that they will implement it? I mean, we're looking at body language. We're looking at antecedents. We're looking at how politics is run in this country. Again, there are those who have queried this government of their level of high-handedness and, doing whatever they want to do and not caring about what Nigerians think. So who's to say that these beautiful ideas and of course, the demands of young people or how they want things to go will be adopted by this administration? Or is this just not another ploy to just spend taxpayers' monies and pay some of their friends and their allies?
Well, that's why I'm saying that by the time they unfold, the agenda shouldn't be difficult. If you can look at all the TEDx talks, look at all that's been happening online prior to now, naturally the kind of agenda. So let me ask you a simple question. If we are at war at any nation now, will our youth be willing to volunteer to join the armed forces?
No.
They will not.
They're not even volunteering right now. The army is asking people to come and, enroll. Nobody's coming.
Yes. Yes, because they will say this country is not worth dying for. Because your country you have not come out clearly to define who you are. What is your message? Where are you taking them to? What is your plan for them? So we need to have that conversation. Let them vent. Let them express themselves. So you can know what you're thinking. You think you know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're thinking. They're miles away. They're doing their own things. They're making money online. So they're not talking to you. They don't care. Yeah. But we cannot leave it like this. Today, we have every National Assembly I went to my village recently, and I found that they've just set up a university, 2 buildings. Are we okay? So people in the village say,
I'm
why are you
sorry.
talking like this now?
I didn't mean to
Oh,
laugh. Two
you don't want
buildings.
to make university. 2 buildings, federal university. They say, you don't want to make university in your community. I said, the ones we're done, I don't fund them. Just everybody has said you're creating more universities. I mean, because there's no plan. There has to be a plan. What kind of education system are we running? There's no depth in it. Who is checking? Our lecturers qualified. Since we asked, the last time we did Ghana must go in 1979 or so, we have not recovered from those quality of teachers that left. The Pakistanis, the Indians, who taught us, who had PhDs as
They
well.
taught me
and
too.
the Ghanaians.
Yes. The Ghanaians.
Yes,
and
they
Indians.
left.
Yes.
And we quickly filled those positions. We have failed as a nation. Anything anybody want tell me. We have failed. When British gave you your currency, it was 75 naira to $1. You could pay a nice school fees in New York in naira. But today, I have failed. My generation has failed this nation. So do we continue as if is the money the way I see is everybody believes that the money in front of you is what matters. The quality of what you do, the quality of life and how you live it, and the things you do, the things you pray for. Your prayer points are still 1970s after the war. You're still praying for water, you're still praying for light and all those. Those are basic things there. You're talking about national grid when you can decentralize it into the 7 regions. That if one shuts down, the other one supports the other one with mini grids. So now you're talking about state policing because you want to shift responsibility to the state. But have you asked people to account for what has happened with the monies you're spending? If you do not generate the courage to review, to hold accountable, to sanction, and to reward, you will just be running all over the place. Because every time a problem arises in Nigeria, what do? We create another department or an agency. The police used to do everything, including military roles. From it, EFC came out, from it, ICPC came out, from it, Code of Conduct came out, from it, this, that, NDLA, all of them. And we're struggling. Why are we struggling? Because we are not doing things properly. We need to go back to when 400 British young boys and girls were running this country and begin to ask questions. We need to have plans that this place I'm dredging will lead to A and will take to B. If you don't, if you're setting up a budget, your projects are geotagged? Are you sure that the project that Minister of Works is presenting that budget is not the same project that NDDC is projecting or the same project that FEMA is projecting? Is it geotagged? Who is checking?
This table that you are shaking,
are
Eugene.
You funding them?
This table that you are shaking, Eugene.
No, yes, it is. Yes, because in the banks, in the telecom sector and the oil and gas sector, you cannot pad your budget. It's not possible. Budgeting sessions, we don't wear tie. You wear shorts and slippers because you live there by 3 a.m. 3 days, we tear it to pieces. And we're talking about over 50,000 staff plus. So this is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. We cannot continue like this. It's all a haze. So the average child does not know what you represent. Where you going to? Where are you going to? So it's not a criticism. What is their agenda? Yes, we know you've inherited problems. But the problems you inherited, you have refused to probe those problems. You have refused to sanction people. Because if you don't probe it, or another word you can use there is audit it, you don't know the depth of the problem. Well, it's not purposely because you want to punish people. No, at least let's know the depth of the problem. We inherited X. We did it. Just like the CBI back in about 7 or 8 months, came out to say, look, we inherited, they gave us a bill for so amount. We went in, brought Deloitte to check, and we found out that it was less by 4 billion plus. These are the kind of things we should see. The world is deliberate. If a small nation like Ukraine can hold Russia down, the world is deliberate. It is the right of every other nation to exploit you. And if you show them foolishness, they will exploit you.
I'm tempted to talk about, our relationship with the Bretton Woods of this world and them actually telling us what our policy direction should be. But I want to go on a break, Eugene. When we come back, Let's continue on this policy direction. What should it be? Now we're talking about government. We've talked about us as a people. What should government be looking at? We'll be right back.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined boy. You have just won yourself.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to two players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira.
My name is Well Done.
Okay, well done. You want to tell you, well done. You won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big from 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347 *880 *3 hash. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
Happy New Year from Polaris Bank, the digital bank of the year. We thank all our customers for your patronage and support last year. May 2025 mark a year of fulfilled dreams for you and yours. Download Vault from Google Play Store or iOS App Store today to get your year started.
This is it. The ultimate stage for young minds to battle it out.
The governors are above the law. They tend not to lean on to public participation.
Governors can make any decision without fear of
what remains of a person's identity if it's only measured by external.
The urgency to safeguard life should outweigh preserving cultural sites.
Auditions for the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is on. Do you have the passion, the intellect, the fire that stand above the rest? Then prove it.
The hallmark of any thriving society is in its youth.
So the organization should be planned carefully into the data.
Standardized test is a recipe for anxiety.
Prove you're the next great debater Nigeria has been waiting for. I Beg to Differ. Auditions open December 12, 2024 and close January 12, 2025. The clock is ticking. Visit www.nigeriainfo.fm now to register. I Beg to Differ. The Tournament of Champions.
The perfect Christmas gift should say,
I appreciate you.
I care.
I love you.
This Christmas, let Small Market help you say it all. With our ready-made gift hampers and gift cards, sharing joy is stress-free. Choose from over 20 beautiful hamper varieties or create your own custom hamper with your favorite items. Plus, we are offering you a special gift of amazing discounts across various products from now till January 1st.
Thank you, Small Market.
Visit any Small Market store nationwide to enjoy exciting Christmas offers. Because with Spar, joy comes already wrapped. Terms and conditions apply. Spar Market, there for you.
You define better odd. I be you one play cause over 1.5. I be you one bet. Say both seem no go score at all. Oh yeah, we get better payout. No worry, we there for you. Our odd chabrat out. You know they for best baba. We win money, best baba. Cash out today easy or best baba. We get online games for you to play. Oh God, all I want. Yeah. We get better bonus. Money we know. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
Introducing the essence of true authenticity in fragrance, Wazobia Perfume, the correct scent. A unique blend that captivates the authentic spirit of Nigeria, now available in both perfume and body spray variants. Designed for everyone. Yes, Wazobia is a unisex fragrance perfect for both men and women. Its rich and versatile aroma is a statement of inclusivity and unity. Unleash your confidence confidence with each and every spray. Are you a retailer or do you love to buy in bulk? We've got you covered across Nigeria. Wazobia perfume comes in cartons of 24 bottles and the body spray is available in cartons of 48 bottles. Interested in making Wazobia perfume a part of your collection or store? For carton purchases, contact us at the email address contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng or call us at 0201 330 0047. That is 0201 330 0047. Our team is ready to assist you with your orders. Wazobia perfume, the correct scent. Your new signature fragrance is just a call or a click away. Authentic, unisex, confidence, Wazobia. Ladies and gentlemen, it still is the season of giving. So says oneplay.ng. That is why they want you to dial the code *347 *880 *3 hash. Yes, if you want our money, dial that code. Or you could go to the website at www.oneplay.ng, as in one, the number one, PLAY.ng. Once you get there, select Nigeria Info as your station, and just like that, your ticket will be in the draws. Of course, you have to commit the paltry sum of 500 naira to each ticket. Now, you can play as many times as possible to give yourself a bigger chance of winning. And remember that your chances of winning are pretty much the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or you use the code *347 *880 *3 hash. Now, remember that at the end of the week, there's going to be a 500,000 naira jackpot. I know, it's mind-blowing. You can't beat that. You definitely can't beat that. So, your qualifying for that is dependent on you playing the game during the week. What am I trying to say? I am saying when you dial *347 *880 *3 hash from your phone or go to the website at oneplay.ng to play the OnePlay game every day, you automatically qualify for the jackpot that comes at the end of the week on Friday. Yes, it's announced on Friday. That said, ladies and gentlemen, play responsibly. Make sure you are playing with only what you can afford. And once you play, make sure you keep your phone very close because that lucky call could be coming in at any time. Yes, at any time. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission. Keep playing, keep winning, and keep smiling to the bank.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, information, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Marian Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome to Hot Fact. This is the very first one for year 2021 director, the Strip, and he's talking with about what would be the position of the lot of people. I have conversation around the constitutions, we have them, we have people. We carry along in the whole conversation of leadership and making sure that our pulse is felt, but then we can't sit in the comfort of our homes and hope that these people will carry us along. It's time that we become actively involved. But let's talk about the government in itself, Eugene. What should be the policy direction of the government? I'll tell you what. This morning, I heard that the president bagged the award of Man of the Year. And also, this is just right a few hours after Nigeria's corruption ranking just showed up, and it wasn't a good one. Also, the Senate president, who amazingly speaks or says whatever comes to his mind, did say that the presidency, in fact, this administration, inherited for want of a better way to describe it, a half-past dead country, and they're doing everything in their power to revive it. And I'm wondering if they were not part of it. Well, Eugene, I'm hearing that you're too far from the camera, so you probably need to come a bit closer again for the digital guys. Okay, so let's start with policy direction from the government. Many people will say that at the beginning of this administration, they were grasping at almost everything to just, it was more of a touch and go situation. We saw a lot of times where the government would backtrack on things, try to set the record straight, trial and error. this is going to be the second year of this administration. What should they be prioritizing?
Well, considering the man of the year most times, or woman of the year is not because you're the best person.
Okay.
But it's like who has impacted the community or controlled the narrative. Just like Donald Trump made Time Magazine man of the year. Donald Trump is not the ideal Democrat for you to, the way he campaigns, the way he talks to people, talks to women, and on those issues that are involved, the charges against him. But the reality is that he was able to control the narrative and he achieved what he sought out. Yeah. Now back to the government. Like you rightly stated, there've been a lot of beginnings and stops. The beginning and stops, but they've been learning on the job. But they came with some form of arrogance, and the realities of our situation now hits them, which has humbled them a bit. But I think that, like I said, ab initio, we need to change the way we do things. We need to probably go back to 1999 when regions, the governors used to have peer review groups. That's why they set up those governors, South Governors Forum, Northeast Governors Governor, so that they can identify the problems bedeviling them. They can identify them. The federal government, the states, and the local government can come together deliberately and address those issues. For instance, we have 8 billion Al-Majiri people, Al-Majiri children roaming the north. It's an army. It's not a northern problem, it's a Nigerian problem. Because some of them are filtering to other parts of the country. So for instance, if they do peer review, and then we'll come up with policies that this is what we do in our states. You must do, let's adopt this plan and see how in the next 3-4 years we can arrest this issue so that the population does not expand, so that population will deplete the population with education and care, welfare care and direction. You find that you disarm that danger that is coming up, but it's a deliberate. You must be deliberate about it. When it comes to the Child Act, protection of the child, most states have not adopted that law, and everybody's folding in arms. At the end of the National Assembly, 4 years, we then come and announce that the 10th Assembly passed 10,000 laws. But the average man is not aware of those laws. The average man is not aware of those laws. So we need to change the way we have the conversations and the things, whether it be power, whether it be security, whether it be education, whether it be every facet of our life. We need to change it. We need to change how we do these things. So until we do that, we'll just be doing the same old things. You appoint people. For instance, this administration, I cannot tell you what their plan for the Niger Delta is. Don't forget, you have the NDDC, Ministry of Niger Delta, the federal ministries, which is about 35 of them. You have the river basin authorities.
Yeah.
If I take the Niger Delta and put all together in one basket, I think I'll have about 7 or 8 government institutions from the federal level. If I add that to what the states have, we like Niger, there's about 9 states. If federal government say, look, this is our total budget for the region, and we add that to what the states are doing and want to do for the year, like this new year, we're able to come out with a clear plan that, look, okay, we're going to do, these are mega projects. This is the challenge which they have. An environment will do this. But even if it's counterpart funding or something, but we don't work at cross purposes. I don't want to be too specific because I'll be saying as if
Yeah.
Criticizing
You've got some
particular
interest
agents.
somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I want to open up the phone lines and allow Lagos to join the conversation. If you're watching us, we're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube on Nigeria Info FM. You could join the conversation via Skype, Nigeria Info FM, if you're listening from outside of the country. On WhatsApp, it's 08095975805. I asked the question earlier today, are we ready in 2025 to hold our government accountable? Well, here's someone trying to tell us what we should be prioritizing. Join the conversation. You have questions, you got comments. 60 seconds is all you have. 0201-277-0993. That's the number for you to call. 0201-465-7190 for the ladies only. Join the conversation, Lagos. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, good evening, Miriam Jukoko.
Good evening. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Happy New Year to you and greetings to your guests. Emeka is my name from Satellite Town.
Thank you, Emeka. Go ahead. Happy New Year.
I have a question for your guest. Where we are today, sir, don't you think it's as a result of the type of education that we run in this country where people are only allowed to read, memorize, and then put down what they've memorized? I don't think our education allows for critical thinking, critical and analytical thinking. Don't you think that's the reason why we have leaders who do not think out of the box? Look at how you have clearly enumerated steps that could be taken to fix the country and where the problem lies. Why are the kind of leaders that come to public offices do not think out of the box and reason the way you're reasoning? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emeka, for calling. Eugene, over to you. Why is it? Why?
We've discussed is that our educational system is designed for the colonial economy. If you remember, and that's why you still put emphasis on courses on political science, which I read, on history. Not that they're not good, but they're important. They shouldn't have the mass of your numbers. I had about 4,500 students globally in the Eastern Bloc, particularly Russia, Ukraine. If you want to read, particularly Russia, if you want to read medicine and engineering, the sciences, you pay about $3,000.
Okay.
But if you want to read public relations, you pay about $10,000.
Wow.
Yes, because what is that they're encouraging people to go towards the sciences. Now, if you remember, we spoke about teachers that since 1979, when Nigerians feel that gap where we lost those quality teachers, our recruitment process is flawed. Go and check. When it comes to hiring teachers, it's politicians that hire their followers who are not qualified to do that. So remember when we used to have teacher training colleges, we had competent teachers. But today we have universities of education and they have very incompetent people running there. We need to check. That's why it was not a surprise under Oshomele as governor of Edo State. A teacher could not answer a primary school course which he was teaching. The same thing happened in Kwara. The same thing is happening in our legal professions, how the magistrates are being recruited. The same thing is happening in the medical profession. So where we are, we're just copying and pasting, and we're not even copying properly because we're copying outdated things, which is where we started this conversation from. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take another call. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Hard Facts. Apologies. Do call us back if that was you. Don't forget we're live on YouTube and Facebook. You can post your questions and comments there too. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Eugene, Happy New Year. I wanted to go somewhere, but when I heard the announcement that is coming, I said, no, let me stay back. Actually, you see at times when I said, we don't know, I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing. I used to say this all the time. Look at all the explanation Chief Eugene has been explaining. Miriam, we're in trouble, oh. We're in trouble. Thank you, my brother. Please don't leave us. Keep on saying, I pray they listen to you. They will take the glory. If they listen to all these things you are giving out to us today, they will still take the glory. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Christian, for calling. Hello.
Yeah, evening, Mayan.
Good evening.
We have a man on the line speaking to you from Ekwe.
Go ahead.
First off, I remember the days when Buhari came into office. You know, like Mohammed said, we should give Buhari 6 months. That after 6 months, everything will begin to stabilize. That they inherited a very bad government, you know. today the same thing is said again. How do you think the spokesperson of a government, how do you think the mindsets of these politicians work? That is my first question. Number two is that we have this Institute of Strategic Studies in JOS, that seems to gather feelers, from the people and submit policies, to government that they should implement. There are rumors that these documents are submitted, but government does not look, to implement them. Tying this to the Orofaye report, of which the president is trying to, on one hand, implement, on the other hand, turn the other eye to it. What is your opinion, what is the opinion of your guest to my comments about this Institute of Strategic Studies and then implementation of things, that will probably harmonize government agencies, rather than duplicate them? Thank you.
All right. Well, he's talking about the Institute of Strategic Studies and, of course, the Aronsai report. She's saying 1 minute the government wants to embrace it, but then they're also looking the other way when certain things happen. And he's asking, how can we remedy it?
For me, like the standards have been reduced because the politicians are forcing us not to think. And so the conversation is either to make you think about national anthem or exchange rates or this or that. But they forget that and we too, who employed these people, we've also stopped thinking. So that's why people can do those things. So everything you need is we have in Nigeria. But who measures what they do? What is your plan in the utilization of this thing? If you don't have a plan, it will just be a waste. So if I go to strategic history, it was supposed to enable people to come out with proper policies. So you see the quality of local government chairmen we have. They're supposed to attend those things. We even have a democratic institute. We have all sorts. Then what do you do with it? You just attend it for the sake of it to where the donor. You have everything. Or I said they did all that report and it came at a cost. Everything now comes back to we the people until we the people start thinking and start saying, look, if people who lived in 1970-79 lived this quality of life, we are demanding for this. If you can't do it, then get out. If you can't do it, get out of it. But if we don't do that, we'll keep. Whether you establish all kinds of agencies, they will not. It does not matter. It does not matter.
Okay. I had a conversation yesterday with a former lawmaker. I would not mention the state, and he said to me, "We need people like you to join government." He said, "We need people like you to join politics." And I said, "Well, I'm not a politician. I come from a long line of them, but I'm not a politician, and I don't wish to be a politician anytime soon. I like my job." And he said the reason why he's saying is that in his part of the world, more and more Yahoo boys, in his words, are sponsoring tickets, and some of them are finding their ways into the state assemblies, into local government. Some of them are running for local government chairmen, and because of the poverty in the land, people are taking their monies and giving them tickets and even allowing them occupy those offices. And he even said, boldly said, there are a few of them now that have found themselves into the National Assembly, Yahoo boys. It calls the question again, where we're going as a country. What do you think, Eugene?
Yes, if you remember, if you can check the history of Italy and what the mafia was doing, so we know these things, and it's been on for a while, and people know them. The Lagos crowd, everybody knows everybody, the social circuits and so on. So in a community, you know who is doing what, where and to living. And you see suddenly a young man comes. Look at the one that was arrested in the United States. The one that took his hand to went to America. Yeah, it's there because your leadership selection process is not vetted. Nobody's doing it. The system has collapsed, but we think we are enjoying. I don't want to mention them for my own safety too. If not, there's a group of people whom we used to look down on. Today, they've created a budget from the national budget. At least 100 billion is spent on them annually. And if you need certain things to be done, you need to go and meet them. Yes. Today, they're entitled. And I blame our parents who told us to hate that, first of all, avoid land and its spells. They said, forget it. They said, it's government. And imagine then the 1 month in politics and efficiency. Forget it's broken of national politics. So if you make it because you have a miscarriage with it, time what happens to your community.
Wow.
So we have a population of about 60% young people, and we cannot account for them. We don't know how many we are. And when technology is available, something that can be done in 2-3 days, Google can tell you how many houses you have in Nigeria, but it can't tell you how many people you have.
Wow.
So we are not yet ready. Maybe until we hit rock bottom, until something strong do us, then we will know where we are. So, and today it's about state capture. We've seen people violate the constitution. People talk to people anyhow. Public officials behave as if they're military administrators, and they think we're scared of them. They forget that we fought the military to make things happen. They think we're scared of them. When Buhari came in 1985, 84, him and Ida were feeling funky. It was girls that shut down the system when they killed some girls a girl in ABU. It happened, yes. When the British were feeling funky, it was the women that stopped the warrant chiefs. No, by now they will have had warrant chiefs in the whole of eastern Nigeria. Yes, some of those women were killed. Every generation is faced with its own challenges. My generation has failed. It is our duty. We, the people, we have forgotten that we own the land. They're forcing us to make us 12,000 people, 11,000 plus people who are elected are making us to feel that they own us. No, it's wrong. And you want them to be angels. No, you make them do what you want them to do. But if you don't know what you want them to do, to ask them to do, then they will do as they like.
Okay.
Today, Pastor Biome was talking about the number of PhDs in the land, and he was laughing. So when you have the PhDs, be able to defend it. Yes, everybody has a PhD there, but you don't see the research project.
I've got just 1 minute. Let me just
every housewife has a PhD.
Let me read some messages. We have just 1 minute before I let you go, Eugene. There's some messages that are coming in on WhatsApp. Let's just read it to just make sure that people are carried along. Someone here says the present administration doesn't have anything to offer Nigerians. They lack clues. They lack ideas. They only want to be president. I only fell for those. I'm sure you mean you feel for those who collected two naira, 2,000 naira, and i.e. in a nylon for each of them on Christmas Eve. Or on the eve of the presidential elections, I beg your pardon, in front of my house at Agege. Now, I believe their conscience will be judging them. Henry, thank you. This one here says, your guest is speaking very well, but all he has said in your program this evening sorry, this guest is not a senator, so obviously not this guest that you're talking about. It was the very guest that was talking about that was a House of Rep member. Anyway, saying... why not put all these suggestions on the floor of the Senate to make good policy directions that will make Nigeria better? Ego, this is not the person that was making those. Sorry, the other guy was talking about rivers. This one is not a member of the National Assembly. Thank you. I know that you were trying to get him, but you didn't. Anyway, Eugene, I have to let you go because our time is fast spent. But always a pleasure to have you in the studio, and I'm hoping that you can come back again and again and again, because this war can't be won in one day, and we have to continuously re-engineer our mindsets. And like you have said, your generation has failed, and is now the onus is on us now to change the narrative, and we need to keep hearing it to be able to do what we need to do. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Eugene.
Let me ask you a question. Where did the villages are filled to the brim? People spending money. Where did they get it from?
If you ask me, we've got to go. Thank you, Eugene, for coming on the show. Well, Lagos, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, the show is over. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, MIMIEY, or just search for Marianne Jukokun everywhere else. I love you, Lagos. Thank you. Listen to Nigeria Info's programming. This is the first day in the year. Tomorrow will be better.
Sports after this.
it, the ultimate stage for young minds to battle it out.
The governors are above the law. They tend not to lean on to public participation.
Governors can make any decision without fear of...
What remains of a person's identity if it's only measured by external...
The urgency to safeguard life should outweigh preserving cultural sites.
Auditions for the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is on. Do you have the passion, the intellect, the fire that stand above the rest? Then prove it.
The hallmark of any thriving society is in its youth.
Study organization should be planned carefully into the data.
Standardized tests is a recipe for anxiety.
Prove you're the next great debater Nigeria has been waiting for. I Beg to Differ. Auditions open December 12, 2024 and close January 12, 2025. The clock is ticking. Visit www.nigeriainfo.fm now to register. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
Stay sharp, fuel up, and be on top of your game. Power Horse is here to boost your energy and conquer the day. Don't miss out on an unstoppable offer for Niger. You can now buy Power Horse 250 ml for just 999 naira. And for those who need a little extra, grab the 355 ml for only 1,299. Don't wait. Head to the nearest store and fuel up. Power Horse.
5 alive pigs. 2 mega pigs. She chooses. He slurps it. Feel the pulp in every bowl. Everyone pulps it their way. So, how do you pulp it?
The perfect Christmas gift should say,
I appreciate you.
I care.
I love you.
This Christmas, let Small Market help you say it all with our ready-made gift hampers and gift cards. Sharing joy is stress-free. Choose from over 20 beautiful hamper varieties or create your own custom hamper with your favorite items. Plus, we are offering you a special gift of amazing discounts across various products from now till January 1st.
Thank you, Small Market.
Visit any Small Market store nationwide to enjoy exciting Christmas offers. Because with Spar, joy comes already wrapped. Terms and conditions apply. Spar Market, there for you.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and bold. They say I'm fashionable. And to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
People say I'm good looking, funny, hardworking, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
So whether in the office or at home,
in the streets or on the dance floor,
anytime, any day, I never lose my confidence. And the secret to my confidence is Wazobia perfume.
Absolutely. Wazobia perfume gives the authenticity and long-lasting fragrance all day. That's my secret confidence.
Wazobia perfume is available in body spray.
Also available in supermarkets and markets near you. Wazobia perfume, the correct scent.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Is it a problem when you can't stop yourself from checking the social media?
So let me drop it for a day and discover that you can actually drop it, no problem. Yeah. Then you're not addicted. You just have this bad habit of
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.